hope I'm audible and visible. Good afternoon, everyone. Waiting for everyone to join so that we can start the class. We can upload whatever are the slides for the day. Then we will continue with the topic which we had left yesterday. We were talking about, I think, functional classification of Indian towns. So good afternoon to all. If any questions from the class which we were having yesterday, we also did industrial geography. Some people who missed that class, that goes in as lecture number 50 of this course, 50 of this course, as industrial or Indian industries, lecture number 4. Make sure you watch that if you have not attended that class. Today we'll continue with the functional classification of Indian towns. We will continue with the Ashok Mitra method. Yes. So that part will continue. We'll look at that also. So any questions, any doubts? Environmetics is being resumed. So today, 7 o'clock, we are starting Environmetics 2.0. So environment, once again, we will start so that in the coming month, you can start with that. And as your course of geography is over, you should start focusing on environment also. Your problems, your questions about environment will also be taken on that. On the group also, I have allowed questions for a session, special strategy session that has been kept for tomorrow. Even that can be taken into account. So questions. So basics will be taken in Environmetics 2.0. Environmetics 2.0 will be more about current related environment issues. Basics will be taken in the course that we will have at an academy. There I take the basics. But generally in the current also we give you the link of what is there. So all those things are there. Perfect. Good afternoon, Naman. Good afternoon to all. So I don't see any question coming in. So let me start. For all the people who joined in just now, Environmetics 2.0, current environment related topics will be taken into that. So that will be conducted today at 7. Today is 2.0 orientation, so probably a small session of around 1 hour. But generally we keep it around 1.5 hours. So from next week onwards, some environmentics class will come. For that, we will have that. Is everyone okay? Regarding the other things, regarding the strategy, so I think the group is still open. During the class time, let me close the group. Yes, 7 p.m. Everyone have shared the link already. The link has already been shared with you on the group. So the environmentics 2.0 will start from there. Yes, it is a special class, Abhi. Environmentics is open to all. It is a special class. Yesterday's class was a regular part of the industry geography, so that anyone who's a part of the course, when he scrolls into the topics, he finds industry geography number 4. Okay, that. So let's start with this. What we were talking about. So today, types and patterns. This I've left. Urban development. This urban developments we talked about. Conurbation is there. This we will finish today. Today I'm going to bring about slums also. Some idea of town planning also, and problems of urbanization and remedies that continue. I will look at 5-year plans. Urbanization under 5-year plans, to understand that how town planning was conceptualized. Do we get that? And then we will look into morphology in the last class, which is tomorrow. Morphology and urban sprawl will be a part of that, so that extension will be done tomorrow. Is everyone okay? So let us continue with the Ashok Mitra's classification. So please write down Ashok Mitra's classification. Get that? So first of all, as I said, he was the former census commissioner. So everyone, I hope you're settled. I had invited questions, so nobody had asked any question. So I'm continuing. So Ashok Mitra, he was the census commissioner, former census commissioner of India, and he gave functional classification based on the functional category, gave the scheme based on functional categories of 1961 and 71 census data. First, so functional categories. I told you most of the functional classification, as I told you, are based on the occupational data. Occupational data. Okay, that? Occupational data, or we call it the worker categories. Worker category. So first is he used this 1961-71 data. So he had data. Second is he used the predominant function approach. Okay, that? Is everyone okay? Identified 3 functional classes or categories of towns in India. One, or let me say like this only, manufacturing towns. 2 is trade and transport towns. And third is service towns. Okay, that? Everyone okay? So this is the outcome. This is the outcome which he had. This is what he had classified into that. So what was the basis? Predominant function. What is the predominant function? He found out that he used the 1961 census data, worker categories, and that is how he did work for that. Is everyone okay? So what was the process that he adopted? Let us understand the process. First tier classification. First tier classification. Okay. 7 out of 9 worker categories were used. Okay. So let us write these worker categories. The first category is cultivation. And the second category is agricultural labor. Third category is forestry, fishing, plantation, mining. Fourth is household industry. Fifth is manufacturing. Sixth is construction. Seventh is trade and commerce. 8th is transport, storage and communication. Services. Everyone, where do we get this data from? Everyone, where do we get this data from? Census. So this is census data. Census gives us worker categories. Now, any advantage of using census data? Everyone, you are classifying Indian towns into what functions they perform. So you identify what kind of people are living over there, what kind of jobs they are doing. Yes or no? And census gives us this data. So does it make the study objective? Everyone, using census data makes the study objective. Imagine an infantile town, a mature town, a senile town. Yes, a paleotechnic town, a technic town, eotechnic, and a neotechnic town. Do you see such names are very subjective? True or not? Yes. What is infantile? I don't know. What is mature? I don't know. What is senile? I don't know. So towns have been classified into infant, mature, senile. They have been old technology, new technology, and biotechnic. Biotechnic. So what's the point of this also? Can I say if I take census data, I have fixed my studies objective. So my towns will be based on the workers. Is it okay? And is it the functional data? What functions people are providing? So make sense. So one positive is this if you do this. Second positive is 1961 and 71 census. Tomorrow he's no longer the census commissioner, the next one. Can he also make a classification using the data of that particular year? Yes or no? So others can continue, and a temporal comparison of future classifications possible. Others means other scholars can continue on this basis. Make sense? So what he has done, he has taken the 9 workers and census data is there. So he knows how much worker is there. So census will give us the percentage data. Now honestly tell me, we are looking at urban areas by definition. By definition, which work does not come under urban area? Which work does not come under urban area? 1 and 2. 1 is not urban, so let us cross this. Can I say 1 and 2 don't come in this? So did I write he used 7 out of 9 categories? Can you understand that? But sir, how is fishing and forestry urban? There can be a forest-based industry, fishing processing, plantation-based industry. Yes or no? So we are looking at like functions. When we say non-agricultural activities, allied activities can be industrialized. Is everyone okay? So this is the census data. I got the census data from here. Okay. Now I am going to identify the predominant function. How do I decide that predominant function? Get that? So for predominant functions, I will decide the categorization. Predominant function categorization. Get that? Is everyone okay? So these functions, function number 3, 4, 5, and 6, these were called secondary functions. Can I say these are primary functions? Therefore not taken. Is everyone okay? These two, he classified them as economic sector functions. And last one, he called them social sector functions. Remember what are we giving? We are giving functional classification of towns. Functional classification of towns. We have rejected primary functions. Why have we rejected primary functions? Everyone with me? We have rejected primary functions. Why? We have rejected primary functions. Why? Primary, we are talking about urban. No, not towns. Anjali, as she's saying, not towns. So because we are doing urban classification. Is everyone okay? Now this is there. What we have identified, we have given a name to the predominant function. We have given a name to the predominant function, categorization of categories. How many categories are there? Three categories. Yes. Secondary function is based on 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, 8, and this is 9. Everyone, will we get the percentage values from the census? Will the census give us the percentage values? Everyone with me? True. I have my census values. Now let us come to the classification. He classified Indian towns into three categories, three functional categories. What are those? A is manufacturing town. B is service town. Not service, trade and transport town. So it's clear. I'm giving you the process. No, how did he come to this? And third is the service town. Which town in India will be called as manufacturing town? Which town in India will be called as manufacturing town? So a town in which secondary sector functions. What are secondary sector functions? 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. If they are more than the economic sector and social service sector. Easy. If this data comes, you call manufacturing town. If your economic sector services, economic sector functions, that means 7 plus 8, the percentage of workers in this is more than the secondary sector or the social service. People who have forgotten social service, this is the social sector function. So I wrote social service, social sector functions. Is everyone okay? Clear? Any questions, please ask. Straight? No mind in this? So if you're clear on this, please tell me what would be the service town. What would be the service town then? Quickly, which one will be the highest? The social sector function will be the highest. Now tell me, is this classification difficult or easy? You take the data, you have the data, you identify Indian towns, three things. ये exam में पूछा. Good afternoon, Kalyanika. We are continuing with functional classification of towns. Get it? So क्या याद करना है? 1961, 61, 71 data. He was the former census commissioner. He had all the data with him. He wanted to identify a predominant function, and in that predominant function, he found three categories of towns: manufacturing town, trade, and service. There are 9 categories of workers. Out of those 9 categories, he dropped 2 categories. And that is there. Okay? He identified 3 functions: secondary functions, economic sector functions, social sector functions, and depending on the percentage, whichever was the highest, that's there. Is everyone okay? Perfect. But now comes the complexity. What is the complexity? It is rare to find a mono-functional town. True or not? No town is purely administrative. Administration is a service. Everyone. What is service? So I also want to tell you service will be what? Education, health, yes, administration, etc. Judiciary. So tell me which town is only education and does not have trade and transport? So every town will have some workers of the different categories or not? They will have different workers. Yes, I understand this is majority. This is like having simple majority case. What about, like you are around the social sector is around 40% and they two combined are 60%. Now what do you call this? So they are 30%. It is wrong ho jayega na? So no town is a pure town. Yes or no? So it is rare to find a monofunctional. So can I say cross? Can I say too many towns? Too many towns in India. They are complex. Size of towns is highly variable, therefore not comparable. So what are these? Can I say limitations? Limitations. A small town, little population, they are into manufacturing. You declare it manufacturing, but you come to a city like Delhi or Mumbai, those are big towns. A small town, big town, how can you put them in those categories? Will it be a challenge or not? Okay, what about towns have, Indian towns have a long history. Ancient Patliputra, medieval Delhi itself, yes, colonial. So everyone has different workers. Can I say that? So Delhi, you will find craftsmen also, ancient traditional craftsmen also, and you will find modern boys and girls doing biotechnology, nanotechnology also. True. So how do you put them in those categories? Isn't it very very simplistic? Yes or no? And even data, अभी data का कोई भरोसा है? Data is not regularized and standardized. Different states, different cities will have different criteria for their own workers being classified and whether they are into that or not. True or not? So it is easier said than done. Easier said than done. आपको भी बहुत easy लगा कि सर ये तो बहुत easy है, तो लड्डू classification है, so you are happy with it. True or not? But my question to all of you is, I understand that is there, but at least better than nothing. Better than nothing or not? Qazi Ahmed, if you remember yesterday, I told you identified how many types of towns? 102 types of towns. But this person has at least reduced it to 3. True or not? So many variables, how do we manage it? And we said there is an advantage. People can compare also, other people can also use this data, at least on this category. But then when he was questioned, he said, see, these things can't be done away with. Yes or no? Can I say reality or characteristic of Indian urbanization? We can't do much about it. Yes. But he said, this I can do. I also see that towns are having complex functions. They are generally multifunctional. Yes or no? So in order to address multifunctionality of towns, he decided to include the degree of specialization as a criteria, and used triangulation method to arrive at a quantitative solution to this problem, to the problem of multifunctionality. I wanted you to note this down so that we get this language also, everyone. I hope you're comfortable with that. So first of all, rarely a town is unifunctional or monofunctional. So they have multifunctional things. So he says if there are multiple functions, so that means you have a specialization in something. Yes, you can be, if you have a specialization in something, say for example, Kota. What do I call Kota as? Kota as educational town. Can I say that it has acquired that name? Kota as an educational town, education hub, because that's there. So it has degree of specialization in that. Have you heard of a town called Vellore? Vellore. People go for that. Treatment, healthcare, CMC Vellore. Heard of that? People go for treatment also. But as somebody said, sir, but Kota has got stone cutting also. Yes, that is also there. If there is a Christian Medical College Vellore, so there must be education also going on there. So can I say, he said, some towns will have specialization. If they have specialization, single specialization, you are monofunctional. If you have 2 specialization, you are bifunctional. And you have too many specialization, then you are diversified. Possible or not? True or not? So in order to address multifunctionality of towns, he decided to include the degree of specialization as a criteria and use the triangulation method. So कैसे पता करेंगे? Triangulation method to arrive at a quantitative solution. Everyone remember quantitative revolution? Quantitative revolution. Remember this? So use of geometry. Now let me show you how geometry can be used. Everyone. So triangulation method बता रहा हूँ. So we'll make a triangle. Make a big equilateral triangle. Is everyone okay? This side is services. This side is trade and transport towns. This side is manufacturing towns. Remember there are 3 types of towns. Yes. If the data shows that you are 100% only manufacturing, nothing else. If you are 100% only manufacturing, you will be called a monofunctional manufacturing town. If all the worker categories are involved in the trade and transport, number 7 and 8, then you are 100% trade and transport town. Yes, on a graph. This triangle is nothing but a graph. And if point C, 100% of your workers are in service sector function, you are this. Is everyone okay? Can I say a town which is A, B, and C is rare? A, B, C is rare? True. Can I say most of the towns will lie somewhere inside the triangle? So what I do is I make an axis. I go like this. This is 0% manufacturing. This is 0% services. And this one is 0% trade and transport. Is everyone with me on this? 0% trade and transport. Is everyone okay? Can I say center will be what? What percentage will be in the center? 33, 1 by 3. So can I say point D? D which is in center. D is equal to 33, 1 by 3% of all three functions. Is everyone okay? So can I say the town which is in the center, is it having functional specialization or it is diversified? Can I say the one which is at D is diversified and the one which is at A, B, C? Can I say D is highly diversified? And if you are A or B or C, what are you? You are highly specialized. Is everyone okay? You have the data of your towns. Can you plot it graphically? If the axis is 0 to 100, 0 to 100, can you plot or not? Yes or no? Everyone think about it. You have a town which is, say, for example, 10% services. 10% services, maybe 40% manufacturing, 10% services, 40% manufacturing, and 40% on transport. तो वहीं पर आएगा नहीं आएगा? Where I put a dot. 10% services, 40% manufacturing, and 40% transport. Everyone, do you agree? Point E will be that. E is what? Manufacturing around 40+%. Trade and transport. Can I say this is trade and transport? This must be this. True or not? This is also around 40% plus, and manufacturing is around 15% plus. So total it will come around 100%. Is everyone okay? How did I plot E? Everyone, are you okay with that? Perfect. A, B, C, D, E. Can I plot any town now? And it will be located in this. If you are ABC, what are you? You are specialized towns. If you are D, you are diversified towns. What is the name of E? Then? E को क्या कहेंगे? So everyone, I have something very interesting for you. D is 33%. No, let me make a circle. This circle is 40%. Get that? This circle is 40%. Everyone with me? Services 15 plus something. I'm just going approximate, Dipshika. Don't take it that way because the total will be 100. No. So 15 plus. So can I say 15 plus 40, 45? So can this be around 45 or 42, 43, and then 15 something? चलेगा? So ये मैं करना चाह रहा हूँ. Please don't get caught into that. I'm just doing this. तुम लोग अपना दिमाग लगाए बिना रटना चाह रहे हो. Everyone, any town which comes within that 40% circle, should it be considered specialized or diversified? So diversified. Perfect. There is another circle. This circle is 50% circle. Everyone okay? So not 50, my mistake. 45%. Get it? And then I have a 50% circle also. So 50% of this line, 50% of this line, 50% of this line. Get that, everyone? Now, if you are a town outside 50%, you are going towards specialized or diversified. If your town gets plotted outside that 50% circle, you are going towards specialized. And if you are inside 50, what are you? You are going towards diversified. Tell me, innovation or not? So he gave us 4 categories in this. Let me give you the 4 categories. Based on degree of diversification, he gave us 4 categories. What are these 4 categories? Let me look at them. Number 1 is PFHA, number 2 PFA, number 3 FMD, number 4 FHD. Get that? What is number 1? Primary or predominant function. Predominant function, highly accentuated. Can I say this will be 1? Here it will be 1. Here it will be 1. Is everyone okay? PFHA. 1 is that area. Predominant function, highly accentuated. FHD. Functions, highly diversified. Where will number 4 be, everyone? Where will number 4 be? Sorry, there over center. Number 4 will be here. Everyone okay? You are smart people. Where number 2 will be there? So number 2 will be here, and number 3 will be here. What is PFA? Predominant function, not highly. It is just accentuated. Predominant function, or sorry, function moderately diversified. Function. Is everyone okay? Quickly tell me, innovative work or not? First of all, he collected all the data में 3 category बनाया, manufacturing town, transport town, and service town. Simple. And then he said that they can be, like a lot of overlap also, there can be a lot of diversification also. And how did he capture it? Through a triangle. Exam में triangle बनाना आना चाहिए. It is in the books also. Many people don't understand. When you read Fuller also, you get the triangle, but you don't understand what is happening. Is everyone okay? What is the purpose and what is this gentleman doing? Yes, we all live in the fear of notes. अच्छा हुआ इधर बता दिया सर ने. ये तो कहीं और मिलता भी नहीं. So everyone, all this is typed for you. Indian cities were first classified by Amrit Lal. Yesterday I all told you. नीरज सिंह, so Fuller में ऐसे नहीं दिया है. So Fuller क्यों तो ऐसा नहीं दूंगा ना. I will make it easy for you. Did everyone understand? Simple classification. Take the categories 7 out of 9. Put them in 3 functional categories if required. Look for diversification. And how can diversification be done? Triangulation method. Simple triangulation. इतना कर दो काम बन जाएगा. So Amrit Lal, we had talked. Qazi Ahmed, we talked. आज हम अशोक मित्रा की बात करें. 1961-71. Data on economic activity. Urban places are meager. The main source of information on the aspect is the census, where data for all towns is provided 9 industrial categories. So this is written. Why did you make us write? Well, you wrote. Now it is registered in your mind or not? While every town and city has some workers engaged in each of these categories, the proportion or percentage of the workers of an industrial category may be greater. Yes or no? The category, the greater one, represents the dominant function. This approach is, however, too simple and tends to ignore that there are more than one activities. Dominant function approach, therefore, has all but been abandoned in the functional classification and has been replaced by multiple function. Did I show you how did we take multiple function also? And that comes through degree of specialization. Now, if I had shown you this slide before doing it, first of all, it would have only been theoretical, and second is you would have not even understood it, and unnecessarily you would be worried, I have to memorize. Is everyone okay? Census में data दिया हुआ है, 7 out of 9 categories, he used them. First he went for dominant function, then he realized dominant function से ना होगा, so he went for multiple functions. For that he used the triangulation method. What are these? First he classified as manufacturing towns, trade towns, and service towns. Manufacturing towns and trade towns were further subclassified. So manufacturing can be into mining, quarrying, livestock towns, artisan towns, manufacturing town, construction town, trade town, transport town. So you did not tell us this. Are it 3, then 5, and then triangulation? I skipped it. I skipped this. Is it okay? You have some data also. You have 3. Based on the number of population, you can make 3 into 5. Yes or no? And remember those categories. See, trade and transport was what? 6 and 7 only. No? True. So trade and transport were 7 and 8. So within that he has classified. Is everyone okay? So don't worry, that is there. In all 7 types were recognized. In all 7 types, the degree of specialization in each 3 basic groups was identified in the triangulation method. In this method, number of workers in each 3 groups is expressed as percentage, and the total will add up to 100, and then they are plotted on a triangular graph. Did you learn how to make a triangular graph? Done in class. ये मैंने पहले करवाया, so that you can understand my slides. That is why I say, like attending the classes, not just collecting the notes, is different. So many people don't understand what is happening, and in the book it is definitely different. What are the categories? PFHA, people who felt, अरे यार PFHA क्या है? People who felt sir's handwriting is not good, I am not able to write. Everything has been there. Third circle, second circle, first circle. I hope you understand all the circles also you've made. What is the meaning of this? The center will be 33, 1 by 3. In the center, no functional specialization. He drew 3 circles. 4 levels of specialization. These are there: PFHA, TFA, FMD, FHD. Everyone, did you understand? Did you draw? And do you have the handout also? Now the clear? This has been asked in the questions. Main question pucha 2020 or 21. I think one of them has talked about explain the functional classification of Indian towns given by Ashok Mitra. Now in 1991, Ashok Mitra has already laid the foundation. Ashok Mitra has already laid the foundation. Professor M.K. Jain, he became the census commissioner and he said, "Chaliye upgrade karte." Upgraded Mitra's classification using 1991 data. Yes, he accepted predominant function categories. Of Mitra. So that he said, I'm okay with that. Yes. But he reclassified Indian towns to accommodate multifunctionality. So first part, he was okay that whatever Mitra has done is fine. Get that? And I want the multifunctionality to come. Is everyone okay? So first he rearranged the worker category groups. So what are these groups? Let us look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 is called primary activity group. Number 2 is called industry group. Number 3, industry, can I say function? Number 3 is trade function. Number 4 is transport function. Number 5 is service function. Can I say almost the same category? The 3 have been broken down into 5. Is everyone okay with this? So what are primary ones? Primary will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. He has taken 1 also. 1 and 2 also taken because he calls them primary activity or primary functions. Is everyone okay? That's also one category that he gives respect to. What is this? 5 and 6 are industry functions. 7 is trade function. 8 is transport function. 9 is everyone okay? True. Now he classified using these functional categories. Please write down using these functional categories, using the 5 functional categories, he classified or categorized Indian towns into 3 categories. So what were these? These were functional categories and 3 types of town. Monofunctional town, bifunctional town, and multifunctional town. Is everyone okay? So he's already accepted what? He's already accepted these 5: primary function towns, industry function towns, trade function town, transport function town, and service function town. So these 5 are there. He rearranged the worker category groups to get 5 towns: primary activity towns, industry function towns, trade function town, and transport function town, and service function town. Is everyone with me? Now to look at the degree of specialization, he has monofunctional town. If workers in any functional category are more than 40%. Is everyone okay? So suppose there is a town which has 50%, which has 50% trade functions. What will that town be called as? Monofunctional. अरे स्पेशलाइज नहीं रहा, जब 3 कैटेगरी आ रही ना, मोनोफंक्शनल कहीं लिख रहा है स्पेशलाइज्ड. No town has functional, no single, let me repeat it, no single functional category is above 40. Single is not there, but 2 categories together are greater than 60%. Get that? Let me come back to this. Industry is 35% and transport is 35%. So this is town number A is monofunctional. What will I call town number B, everyone? Bifunctional. If together it is there. Any two categories out of these five. If you have one category above 40, so straight away you're calling it monofunctional. Get that? If you are above 40. Everyone, let us compare this. Let us compare this with the triangulation method. Isn't Professor Jain telling us that any town which is outside that 40 circle, any town which is outside the 40 circle, not of 3 services but of 5 services, that will be considered as monofunctional. Is everyone okay? He's saying if one town has more than 40% of one function, not a triangle. Imagine not a triangle because he's not talking about only 3 things. He's talking about 5 things. So a pentagon. Is everyone okay? Get that? And when do you have multifunctional? When no two functional categories are greater than 60%. Do we get that? None of them together are greater than 60%. So everyone, I have a town like this, which is 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. This is my town number C. What kind of a town is this? Multi-function. Is everyone okay? Easy to understand or difficult? Do we also see the difference between them? He was using triangulation method and he used primary function accentuated or function diversified. That was Mitra. Jain said, I'm okay with the predominant function and all those things he said, that's okay. But when you are looking at multiple categories, first identify the 5 functions, take the census data, add them up and find out how many percentage of workers are working under each category. If you find all of them are 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, diversified. If one sector alone is more than 40%, straight away call it monofunctional. 40 is big. He said, if you don't have one, but 2 together are more than 60, you call it bifunctional. Is everyone okay? Have I made myself clear? I have given you some samples also, and you've written also. When you write, it registers in the mind. You want it typed, it is also there. M.K. Jain, Deputy Registrar, sorry, he was not the Registrar, he was the Deputy Registrar General of India, has attempted a functional classification of India following Mitra's 1971 methodology. So he used the 1971 methodology, but 1991 data. Apart from identifying the types of activities, 3 other classes he has put: mono, bi, and multifunctional. The 9 industrial categories of workers were first grouped into 5 sectors: primary, industry, trade, transport, services. For each urban agglomeration, the percentage of total workers was there. Functional categories were determined as if one sector is more than 40, then you are mono. If none is not more than 40, 2 are more than 60, then bi. And if no 2 sectors are 60, then the largest sectors were combined and called multiple. I'm sorry I made you write down also, because I found this, that reading in the book, now at times we sleep, we don't understand it. Did we very clearly understand what is the functional classification? What are the differences between the two? Get that? And through Mitra's classification, have I also told you the advantages and disadvantages? Same will apply to Jain also. They are objective, same mathematization, they are innovative also. They can be compared. Other one can upgrade also. That is a good thing about it. They are not subjective, same old things. But what is it? Towns are mostly multi. Yes. Why did you take 40% only? Why not 45%? Can I say this is subjectivity? What is the cutoff? Yes or no? In school, what is the fail marks? In school report card, what is fail? 35? 33? Depends on the school. 35, 33. So 30 also. I don't know what is that. So less than 35. मुझे तो याद है वो red से लिखते थे. My teacher used to write that score in red. I never bothered to check. Abhi is saying university is 50. Is university 50? No, I don't think so. I think 60 and above is first division, 50 to 60 is second division, less than 50 is third division. ऐसा कुछ है ना? So 50 के नीचे कोई fail नहीं करना. Is everyone okay? Now tell me, can it change from school to school, college to college? Can they change or not? They can change, and teachers will given the instruction. In fact, in your report card itself, first page, the report card will it tell you not different grade, what do they need? So you can change it. So these people have made it. Can I say that is the subjective thing? And I already told you there are problems with Indian towns. Indian towns में क्या है? वो सब मैंने points लिखे थे ना. Please use those points. Too many towns. So many census towns are there. So many statutory towns. Size of the towns are not comparable. Those long histories, how do you accommodate for that? What is the meaning of urbanization? That's what we are talking about. And all this data, everyone, all this data we are getting. Simple thing I want to tell you. All the data we are getting is from organized sector. What about unorganized sector? True or not? Does it come in the census? So it does not come into the census, so that is there. That's what we're talking about. And everyone, generally these people are talking about, remember Harris and Nelson, they had classified, they had taken a lakh plus cities. Is of lakh plus cities. What about the smaller towns? Smaller towns category, class 3, class 4, class 5. So that is missed. But I would say the idea, the principle is very much intact. So that will help you understand. Is everyone okay with this? Outgrowths are not taken, many things are not taken, so that will be there. So delineation is a problem. But everyone, this is a good theoretical area जहाँ से question आता है, and I hope I have made myself clear. I requested you to read from Fuller also. If you read that, that's very good. I also gave you the homework of reading about the million plus cities, 53. पढ़ा या नहीं पढ़ा? List देखा या नहीं देखा? Is your city there? Perfect. Good. हाँ जाते problems of urbanization. जल्दी बताइए क्या है problems of urbanization? I've been talking about that. I've been talking a lot about those problems and conurbations. सब तो हमने कर लिया कल. क्या problems है? Indian urbanization. Pollution. Management, overcrowding, employment. Perfect. Cities totally unplanned, no? I think Indian urbanization was recently referred as messy. It's a mess, unplanned, haphazard, rural-urban migration, and happening at a very accelerated rate. Can I say unsustainable, negative, or adverse population resource balance? Can I say that? Disaster prone, non-futuristic. What do I mean by non-futuristic, everyone? What do I mean by non-futuristic? Means in the future more and more people will be there. So can it expand? Can it accommodate or not? So that's what we're talking about. Yes, unsustainable will have ecological issues. Unsustainable even socio-cultural wise. True or not? But the problem is the urban centers are the drivers of economy. इसके बिना काम भी नहीं चलेगा. They are the drivers of economy. That's also there. So scalability, so not scalable. So Delhi is not scalable. That does not mean migrants will not come to Delhi. वो तो आ रहे दौड़ के भाग के they are coming or not? True or not? Anything else? कुछ डेटा ले लिया जाए. ये जो मेसी वर्ड है ना, ये वर्ल्ड बैंक ने दिया. You can use that in your answer. World Bank says Indian urbanization is messy and hidden. It doesn't seem to be urban. True, it doesn't seem to be urban. There is a lot of sprawl happening, slums happening. So everyone, if you don't have the data, I'm giving you at one place all data, state of urbanization that we have, and the problems are inherent in this only. Get that? Indian urban population is 377 million, 31%, which data as per 2011 census. It is the second largest urban population in the world. This I have already told you. Our urban areas may be required to accommodate. This is my biggest problem. This is my biggest alarm. Right now, how much do we have? Can I say almost double? Almost double people are going to enter. Tell me whichever city you live, does it have space for you to live? Does it have space for you to live? So फिर कहाँ से लाओगे? And everyone, these 300 million people, will they go to class 3, class 4, class 5? No, they will only come to million plus cities. Million plus cities, 53 are already congested. Are they congested or not? Are they congested or not? I want to tell you, million plus city, 1 million people added to urban population every month. And I'm sure Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata will be taking a big share. Add Bangalore and Hyderabad to it. जल्दी से बताओ क्या थे वो top 10? मैंने list तो अपने पास आज रखी हुई है. I have the list on my computer. Yeah. Bangalore, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Pune, Surat, Jaipur. Ahmedabad, Pune, Surat, Jaipur. Yes. So Ahmedabad, Pune, Surat, Jaipur are the 4 ones which will add after Bangalore and Hyderabad. True or not? Surat, Ahmedabad, है जगह उनमें. So in top 10 में पहुंचने वाले. Where will we accommodate them? Where will we accommodate them? Sir, we have 20 years, everyone. We have 20 years to create new towns. With me on this? When was this report? 2011. When am I talking to? 2022. Have 10 years already passed? कोई नई सिटी आपने सुनी हो, कुछ नया हुआ हो? 10 more years, आधा माल आ चुका है, आधा और आने वाला है. So urban areas are going to be more congested only. Urban problems are going to be more complex only. True or not? 12 million people are added to the urban population every year. An investment of 50 lakh crore rupees is needed in next 2 decades. अबे पैसा है किधर? If basic infrastructure is to be provided, what are states fighting on? Patna को क्या मिलेगा? Cities in Bihar, what are states fighting for? Yes, one amazing thing states have done, they have changed the name. ये बढ़िया काम किया यार, नाम बदल दो. This is what they understood. They never attend my class. When the bureaucrats come and give them those reports, they say, politician gone. Who is the boss? I'm the boss. Step, जाके करो काम. नाम बदलो इसका. Absolutely. And if there is a problem, blame it on Congress. अबे कांग्रेस तो खुद ही डूब चुकी है. Yes. Okay. If not Congress, COVID possible. If not COVID, देश बचाना है. अब क्या बात कर रहे हैं? अब 75 नहीं, अब 100 years की बात करें. Get into the century mode. No. Feel आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा सर? India at 100. India at 100 सोचो. It's like you are giving respect to a person who's giving multiple attempts, does not even clear prelims, and you're calling him the senior citizen of UPSC. अरे क्या respect है? हर साल fail हो रहा है, हर साल उसकी उम्र बढ़ेगी कि नहीं? Will definitely India at 100 come or not? Just by giving a slogan India at 100 and not working for it. There are so many people who are writing attempts and not working for it. Veteran होते जा रहे हैं, senior citizen हो रहे हैं, and then they will share their video. Why I did not clear, and then we will be inspired. According to 2011 census, country का, can I say 25%, around 1/4 of the GDP is going to come from this. So would you want this growth engine to collapse? Over 70% of the new jobs are going to be created in cities. Do you know why people will go to cities only? Because there is no other way where job is there. Farmers are on the road. Yes, students are on the road. And where? To the road leading to the top cities. उनके पास job नहीं. Government doesn't have job. Yes, and we said boys are not skilled enough for the job. There is a strong link between urban development and national economy. ये तो बहुत अच्छा होता है. But Nirmala Rai told us national economy is doing well. What is the problem? I trust urban population will be growing much faster than rural population in the next few decades. So everyone, can we see there is a problem of the population size itself? Already big, more are about to come. Cities are not able to give the urban amenities to the existing ones. नया कहाँ से लाएंगे? There is capital concern, there is planning concern, there is execution concern, and there is this problem of top heavy urbanization. Have I given you specific answer or not? Whatever you said was also correct. When World Bank report says that Indian urbanization is messy and hidden, do we agree now? And can I say there is an alarm bell that in the 20 years, where 10 have already gone, people are rushing towards urban areas. Only one time which we saw they were not poor people during COVID, the migrant labor who went back from urban areas. Are they back or not now? More or less they are back. Because गांव जाके भी क्या मिला? गांव में तो काम नहीं. There is no work over there. True. So people have come back. This is how an urban landscape looks like. True or not? ऐसे दिखाई देता है दिल्ली के स्लम से. We can see that urban areas नीचे तो साउथ में वेस्ट, can you see गुजरात महाराष्ट्र, और नीचे केरला तमिलनाडु. These are more urbanized. Yes, either West Bengal and either Delhi and around that they will be urbanized. बाकी तो urban percentage is also low. India is experiencing a rapid urbanization. Is this a problem? If something happens at a very fast pace, managing it is a challenge. Census towns are also adding to the acceleration. So who's adding towns? Census. We are just growing by what? Rural urban migration. National Commission on Population in India predicts that next 14 years, by 2036, 14 years में 38.6600 million हो जाएंगे. तो होने वाला है everyone. So 14 years बचे हमारे पास. 600 million almost double चल रहा है वो. UN2 highlights that India's urban population size will nearly double. 877 million. Tell me city पे किसी पे भी काम हो रहा है? सर वो smart city सुना है मैंने. Smart city ना मैं भी पूछना चाहता हूँ, कोई city smart है? True or not? That's a big challenge. कहाँ से लाओगे water supply? A sanitation rating conducted 423 class 1 cities brought out the fact that drinking water samples did not qualify. Sample को मारो बोली, quantity and quality both are a problem. Yes or no? Big problem. You are facing it. Sewage, less than 2/3 of the urban household were connected to sewer system in 2001. Not much change. 2 decades हो गए, not much change. Solid waste in 2005, 1 lakh metric ton was this thing. और भी बड़ा है, it has increased now. Transport, out of 85 5 lakh plus population, only 20 cities had city bus service. That's also a challenge. Urban housing, EWS, LIG segment में mostly this. So everyone, your homework. can you get the latest data on water supply? हो जाएगा, electricity supply, gas supply, sewage, waste handling, transport, whether they have metro, public transport, and housing. If you have the table for this, you have all the data about urban problems. You don't have to worry about it. Is everyone okay? What data are we looking for? Water. How many cities have access to water? Clean water. You can put a case study also. If you see, you can put a case study. And Jal Jeevan Mission. वो से connect हो जाएगा. Everyone, this is, people ask me, how will I connect current affairs? Can we bring in that Jal Jeevan Mission? Yes. Piped water. Piped water तो ठीक है. Pipe तो लगा दो, पानी कहाँ से आएगा? True or not? Electricity. So we have got electrification everywhere, but electricity supply, how much is there? So did we realize this summer a lot of shortage of electricity? True or not? So much so not only India, even China is facing it. Its factories are shutting down. Yes. Gas, Ujjwala Yojana, you can connect, but gas आई कहाँ है? Cooking gas. Sewage system and waste treatment system, landfills. You can make a case study of landfills. I hope you are understanding what is landfills. Go, they will open a pit and put all the garbage that they have turned into mountains. Yes. No? Transport, where are more public transport? Do they have metro or not? And housing. Remember, we have housing for all scheme going on. So these are the problems. Can I expect you to do that? ये वाला data उठा लो, submit to me. This data you can submit to me. Whatever data after 2020. अगर 22 का नहीं available, I know that these take long time. So 2020 you can take that. Clear? Don't take from coaching institute. Take it from the government report. Because as it is, the government will report it. Everything is good. Some sub changasi. You can take from down to earth. It's a good site. You can take from there also if the data is available. Everyone clear? Arif बोल रहे economic survey. If the urban data is available, you can take from there also. At times, the sectoral one, it might be state-wise, but urban case studies, you might need them. 2022, we came about to know about this problem, or were we aware about this problem before also? So let me take you to a new topic, and which is related to problems only, which will open us to the world of certain terms which generally you are not using. So I am bringing you urban development under 5-year plans. Neeraj Kara, we were aware. Not only Neeraj, you, before you were born, was someone aware. So everyone 5-year plans. Now this for you might be difficult to find and all those things. It will be too much of detail, so I have made it compact for you. First plan, the focus was agriculture and industry. There was no reference to urban policy. Is everyone okay? First plan, second plan, we were not bothered about urban policy. Okay? A new Ministry of Works and Housing was set up, which was later renamed as Ministry of Urban Affairs. पहले उसका नाम क्या था? Ministry of Works and Housing. National Building Organization was set up, designing low-cost housing. School of Planning and Architecture (SPA) was set up in Delhi. Remember, Nehru was into institution building. So these are certain good things that was there. So we are looking at, like there was awareness होना चाहिए. Regional and Town Planning Department बन गया IIT खड़गपुर में. Town and Country Planning Organization was established in 1957 to prepare the Delhi Master Plan. Why am I talking about this, everyone? We have a topic called town planning. So were we aware? Somebody said, Neeraj said we were aware. Neeraj, I'm not talking about you and I. I'm just saying the focus was not there on urban policy, but some institution, National Building Organization, School of Planning and Architecture, IIT Kharagpur departments were created, town and country planning organizations were created. Okay, that first plan did realize acute shortage of housing. So is it there still? In fact, first plan had the issue of refugees also. True or not? Land development activities, especially in Delhi, for refugees were created and refugees were there. So you heard of Rohingya refugees. I don't know Rohingya refugees would be given a place or not, but refugees from Pakistan, they were given place. Many societies were also created for the refugees. One place which you hear of civil services preparation, Old Rajendra Nagar. Yes or no? Karol Bagh, Old Rajendra Nagar. This was a refugee colony. So that's what we are talking about. If you have gone to Delhi University, you have that area, Malkaganj and Kamla Nagar and all that. All this was refugee colony. And then universities are there. All those people who were living over there, they lived and now they are, those areas are giving them good rent. Get that? So that is happening. But anyways, the idea was there is a shortage of housing at that time. Second plan, recognize the need for planned development of towns and cities. And DDA was set up to implement the master plan. Is everyone okay? Have I already talked about DDA? Have I talked about urban governance? So start using them. So this data at times in our answer, it makes our answer specific. Otherwise, you'll simply say कि ये problem है, वो problem है. So पहला problem है planning. Second problem is execution. We need bodies in that. And as I said, if there is multiple jurisdiction, that can create problems. Get that? And apart from that, we will have issues of housing. Plan 3 and 4. Under these plans, first time urban policy received. So actually, when does it happen? Plan 3 and 4. Model Town Planning Act was prepared by TCPO. Yes, Model Town Planning Act was prepared by TCPO. What is TCPO? Town and Country Planning Organization, which was set up in the First two plans. So Model Town Planning Act, town planning departments were set up. Third plan, role of industrialization in urban development. So new industries were set up. Remember the Bhilai model, Bhilai, Rourkela. Master plans were prepared for 400 cities. Creation of administrative state capital. So as state reorganization also happens, so new capitals, Gandhinagar, Dispur, Bhubaneswar, and urban community development schemes were also created. Cities with urban slums. Is everyone okay? So can I say in the third plan, till third plan, we have certain real issues. First is we need to have a planning mechanism. So we brought a planning mechanism. We've identified cities as instrument. We have collected cities to industrialization. So that's what is happening. Okay? Fourth plan discontinued the aid to state for master plans. Nevertheless, it recognized the problem of financing urban development schemes. So now comes a big issue, finance. Paisa kahan se aayega? 1971, HUDCO was established, Housing Development Corporation, finance scheme for housing. So everyone, can you see step by step, we realize there's a need for planning. So we set up agencies on that, town planning. We need to have master plans. We started creating master plans. We need to integrate our cities with urban areas. We did that also. We had to set up housing needs for refugees. We worked on that. Then what happened? State reorganization happened. New capital cities were created. We did something for that also. We realized we need money. So HUDCO was created. And then on similar lines, City and Industrial Development Corporation of Maharashtra, CIDCO, was created there also. Okay. Develop of satellite towns. So new thing comes, we need to develop satellite towns. Remember I told you how satellites are there. So ease the traffic congestion, provide open spaces, playing field, housing and industrial sites outside the city. So why should city be a punishment? So outside the city you give them, those are your satellite towns. Is everyone okay? Are we clear? Can we see urban policy developing and there are problems happening during that time? If you can see that within the plan, we are addressing the idea that how temporally the idea of town planning was coming. These plans gave increased recognition to urban problems. Greater concern was expressed over disparity. So do we have socio-cultural and economic disparity? True. So apart from finance, housing, facilities, we also have disparities. So that should also be taken into this. Fifth plan onwards, things change. Detailed problems were identified, but the funds, lion's share of the funds was given to metropolitan area. Can I say class 1 plus metro became the focus? Get that? The issue was collect taxes, environment improvement of urban slums. This scheme was started. EIUS was started in this. So by this time now what do we have? Slums are also coming in. Can you see Indian urbanization? First the issue was housing only, then integrating it with the industry, then planning. Then we realized there are financing issues, there are socio-economic disparity, and now slums have also come. Get that? Seventh plan, we realized that urban areas are getting concentrated. So we said that regional disparity should be addressed. We must focus small town also. So sixth center say Aya small town. We propose 200 towns should be there, and we must start a program called Integrated Development of Small and Medium Town, IDSVMT. Get that? 1990 aimed at integrated development of small and medium towns. Now our focus is small and medium also. It envisages greater private industrial investment. So private are also invited into this National Urban Infrastructure and Development Finance Corporation. So infrastructure has also come. So integrated, and now we are looking at infrastructure, and fund is also needed. Integrated things are also. National Commission for Urbanization is set up now. You can see how important it is becoming. And the generators of economic momentum, they were called the generators of economic momentum. 300 plus urban centers were identified in this. Urban basic schemes was the idea, and Nehru Rozgar Yojana was started in 1989-90. Get that? Everyone, 1950 to 1990. 40 years. After that, what will happen? LPG will happen. Up to urban areas will go into a higher trajectory. Whatever I read out to you, what do you remember? Do you remember initially first and second 5-year plan? No focus on policy. Yes or no? There was no focus on the policy. Policy पर था नहीं urban areas. What was the focus then? क्या किया 1 and 2 में? How many of you can recall something from 1 and 2? What were we doing? We were setting up institutions. And we were setting up institutions and resettling refugees. Is everyone okay? This is what we were there. Yes, we were looking at housing was an issue, and probably we were looking at here from second, third, fourth. We wanted to have an industrial connection. Yes, sir. We had industrial towns being created. Industrial towns were created. Yes. Third and fourth plan, town planning agency was created. True. And we also created new state capitals. Everyone okay? Then we realized issues of financing. We realized issues of socio-economic disparities, and the focus was on metro cities. Can I say fifth plan, sixth plan? Sixth plan onwards, so fifth. Sixth plan, we started focusing on small towns, medium towns, and integrated planning. Is everyone okay? Small and medium also came into the picture. We also started looking at employment generation, infrastructure of the cities, and even employment में नेहरू रोजगार योजना है, infrastructure है, basic needs and funding. Everyone, whatever I said, that is the crux of this. So many people said, how will we revise and all that. This is your degree of alertness. In this, did we realize what are the problems of urbanization? यहीं पर हमारा slums भी आ गया था. Problems of urbanization is also there, and we have a sequence also in a temporal study, and LPG has to come. Suddenly we are going to go to accelerated urbanization, and newer things will happen after this. Newer problems are going to come, and then we'll have to find solutions also. It is not just ecological environment. I'm saying slum has started forming, and ecological environmental issues are coming. Are they coming or not? So 1980s started looking at environmental issues also. So basic services, when I'm talking about basic needs, sewage is not there, pollution control and all those things. So that's going to be a challenge. Is everyone with me on this? Do we get some idea about the problems? Do we also get some idea into the topic which is called as town planning? Did we know some institutions of excellence? This handout will be uploaded. This handout will be uploaded in the update section because you can't read it. And 12th plan ke baad to FYP hi band ho gaye. FYP was closed, planning commission was dissolved, and after that what came? Niti Aayog came. So planned approach say, why did I want you to be aware of it? So that you can understand the problems. So let's take a quick break. I'll continue with the plans after the break. सारे plans एक साथ कर दूंगा तो there will be खिचड़ी. Our mind likes diversity. So I chose of doing half the plans before LPG to this ways and after LPG after the break. 16:40, 16:50, 10 minutes break. चलेगा? See you after the break. Hi everyone, are we back? Okay, so let us start. So we were talking about urban problems and how urban planning, and there's a need for that. I looked at the state of affairs. We really have a big challenge at hand. A huge urban population is heading towards the urban centers which have the issues of, now I hope you can understand very clearly, the issues of housing, the issues of planning, the issues of coordination, the issues of financing, the issues of levying taxes, the issues of managing those basic goods and services, the issues of infrastructure, and then those unwanted settlements, slums, which also come into the picture. So those have been a big challenge till now. 1991, liberalization, privatization will happen, and we will allow various private entities, will allow international entities to come and invest. And obviously, their choice for investment would be what? Cities. And when they are coming to invest, which cities would they want to invest? Small cities or the cities which are big, which have more potential? So can I say this will also bring in a challenge? True or not? And have you seen cities like Bangalore getting transformed, Hyderabad getting transformed, and the satellites around Delhi also, Gurgaon, Faridabad, Noida, Ghaziabad, they all got transformed. So let's try and look at this, what have been there. And again, pay attention to what I say. The more attentive you are, the more attentive the coding in the mind, the better is the retention. The focus under these plans was on grassroots implementation of the policy. Decentralization was the key tool. 92 to 97, continuing with the objective of 7th plan, we also have this big thing happening at this time, 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Remember this? So when I was talking about metropolitan region, I told you we have that local government also coming in. So this aspect also has to come into in our answer or our understanding of things. Focus is now on small and medium town as the important link between village and large cities. Can I say integrated planning? We already have integrated planning idea in the previous plans, but we are focusing on this. Programs of Ministry of Agriculture, Rural Development are focused on small towns which act as rural service centers. Our real issues now are urban poverty, employment, and access to basic services. District Planning Committee and Metropolitan Planning Committee are constituted. I've already talked about this. So which is the important plan? Post-LPG plan. Post-LPG is about the real focus on decentralized, the real focus on the third tier, the 74th Amendment Act also coming in. We have now district level planning committee and metropolitan planning committees. Accelerated urban water supply program was started in 93. Prime Minister integrated urban poverty reduction program. Yes, so that's what we are talking about. In this, we have started in the 90s. 97, urban poverty as distinct from rural poverty. For the first time, we saw that poverty in general is not the same. So Swarna Jayanti, Shehri Rozgar Yojana. Do we still have that? Is the present government also talking about the rural water drinking project as well as the urban projects? So rural and urban were separated. It replaced Pradhan Mantri Integrated Urban Poverty Eradication Program, and we have the Shehri Rozgar Yojana coming into this. National Slum Development Program was initiated in 1997. Valmiki Ambedkar Awas Yojana was in 2001. States urban development, like we have HUDCO, we have state urban development agencies and district urban development agencies are also created. 10th plan is emphasis on operations and maintenance of urban development services. So services are there. It's sort of to bring public-private partnership. Can we realize that the government realize we don't have the funds? हम लोग इतना कर नहीं सकते. शहरी रोजगार योजना, private has to come into this. And main focus is water supply, drainage, solid waste management, healthcare, family welfare, education, Anganwadi, and creche. Can I say these are the problems and challenges? I'm talking about urban problems. Can you see how as we are evolving into urban areas, our problems are coming in front of us. NGOs, RTI activists were provided a wide framework. Community involvement has to come into this. Get that? Shehri Rozgar Yojana was envisaged only for building assets and infrastructure for urban poor. Urban Reform Incentive Fund was created. National Urban Transport Policy, National Urban Housing Policy. Everyone, 2 pages, all schemes. Make sense? 2 pages, all schemes that you need for urban development, town planning in chronology. Where will you run for? I have reduced everything sub cut karke yahi planned way mein. At times, like the teacher can talk so many things, but you want to revise things. So what is the chronology? So that should be there. So we are looking at that. So Shehri Rozgar ke baad now we have the Rajiv Awas Yojana 2011 and Basic Services Urban Poor, that is also there. Under this very, very important thing called as Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission. What is renewal? Whatever are the existing cities, how can we upgrade them? How can we give them the basic services? That is called renewal. So the scheme under UPA was named after Jawaharlal Nehru. So this is called Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission. इसमें आवास भी है, basic services भी है urban poor के लिए, that is also there. And you've just seen transport policy and housing policy has also been created in India. So that 10th and 12th plans, this is very, very important. The catchword is now this: sustainable and inclusive. अभी तक तो services. Now the word has come inclusive. Till now we were looking at differentiating from urban poor, rural poor, and all those things. 12th plan There was an increased gap between the rich and the poor. So we started looking at inclusive growth, providing training and better skills. So skilling also came. Worker-led approach combined with integrated provisions for backward and forward linkages. E-governance also came. E-governance came in the 11th and 12th plan. So we are looking at so much of e-governance, efficient, timely, reliable management. Also, we were looking at satellite cities to act as counter-magnet cities. Let us create counter-magnets also, so that people are not running towards this. Approval of pooled finance development fund. So urban local bodies were asked, like you can collect fund from where. National Urban Infrastructure Fund was proposed to set up as a trust to provide source of funding to urban local bodies. Remember, urban local bodies, third tier will require fund also. So National Pooled Finance is there. Pooled Finance Development Fund has been created for that. Integrated low-cost sanitation scheme in 1981 envisaged dry latrines into water-sealed twin pits. So we have looked at this government also. Abhi हमने उसको किसमें बना दिया है? We will look at that after this. Strategic Plan for Urban Development 2011 to 16 was continue JNURM as the main instrument, and focus will be to complete the unfinished agenda, promote next generation. So this is more inclusive, sustainable, and by that time the NDA government came and the new policies came. Is everyone okay? So past is done in 2 pages. Everyone okay with that? Can you think if you have to add something to the list? Kya list add karenge? What do you remember after this? What has happened? Employment infrastructure. After 1991, what happened? The investment was coming in the big centers. So the government started focusing on decentralization. Yes. Constitutional amendment. So Arif will not bring PRI because वो तो हम कह रहे हैं 74th amendment we are talking about. There were urban local bodies, no? Urban local bodies. So we needed metropolitan committees, so that's also there. Anshika, sustainable and inclusive 12th plan में है. उसके पहले क्या है? We looked for housing policy. We looked for transport policy. Rural housing, transport, employment, slum management. Get that? Small and medium town को रखना ही रखना है. Skill giving. Do we get that? Finance. Urban Development Authority funds were created, and then towards the 12th plan we said inclusive and sustainable urbanization should be there. Everyone okay? This government comes. Now what is this government talking about on urban things? अब current पे आ जाते हैं. What is this government talking about current things? So all that sanitation thing, did it come under Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? Swachh Bharat Abhiyan Shaili. Urban component also and rural component also. Hygiene sanitation goes into Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Hear that? Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission is replaced by Amrut, Atal Mission on the urban transformation. दो चीज हो गई. Hygiene sanitation went into Swachh Bharat. Second is this. Okay. Then we have Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Shehri, for the urban people. Are we talking about that also? So this government also talks about this. Waste management, did it come up with waste management acts? Waste management categories, has the government come up with that also? Urban waste. Waste to energy, recycle, those programs are also there. Skill India mission, yes, that is also there. Skill India, to skilling the people. Yes, Prashikshu mission and all those things. So Jawaharlal Nehru urban renewal turned into this thing. Hriday mission also, and smart city. This government came up with the idea of smart city also. Smart city. So that's this government. So everyone, till the previous government, I've completed it in 2 pages. Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? At one place, is your content requirement done? Clear on that? Now let's come to this current government. इसमें क्या रह गया था? I think 1 sheet was left. I thought only 2 sheets I had. कुछ और एक और sheet आ गई. हाँ, sorry. This was important. Climate change भी तो आ गया. National Action Plan on Climate Change. So disaster part will also come. I'm sorry. Climate change part has to come. So urbanization as a natural process associated with growth, expansion of urban India as a platform for industrial and modern service sector. So we are looking at service sector with the previous government. Climate change is also there, and we are looking at service sector new opportunities in the IT enabled thing, developing soft infrastructure, so internet penetration. Get it? Transport, communication. Issues are water supply, sanitation, healthcare, education, social security, decent housing. So this is very, very important that is coming. And for environmental sustainability, this question comes separately. What have we done? We have identified small and medium towns and expanding villages, future socio-economic growth, provide urban infrastructure, safe drinking water, sewerage, laying stress on utilizing country's incredible range of attractive tourist destination. Yes. So अभी हमने देखा ना, हृदय scheme, heritage, city development and augmentation yojana. So this was with this government, but the previous government was also working on that. 3F principles: fund, function, functionaries. A policy environment to foster cost-saving innovation. 4 Ps: people, private, public partnership. And JNURM was already there. These schemes have already mentioned everyone. These schemes were mentioned in the plan, but I have put them as a box item also. Nehru Rozgar Yojana, Urban Basic Services, Prime Minister Integrated Urban Poverty, National Slum. So I mentioned on that, but I have given a box item so that we can know the schemes of the past. Everyone okay? So one item which I missed on this was climate change and service, and especially internet coming into the picture. Is everyone okay? So ये Jawaharlal Nehru mission का details है, which is not needed now, but these are just the schemes at one place. Now let us look at what happened after that, and what is after the NDA government, and let us look at this from the context of remedies. Remedies mean, so the current government, whatever it is doing, we are seeing them as remedies to urban problems. Our syllabus says problems of urbanization and remedies. So I'm looking at the syllabus also. Through the past planned approach, I have brought what were the problems they encountered and what all they have done. You can take from there also. So अभी latest, I thought निर्मला ताई की बात में मुझे बहुत दम लगा. Yes, our honorable finance minister, she addressed and she said हम लोग लाने वाले हैं paradigm change. तो हर चीज में हम unprecedented हो जाते, paradigm change ले आते. But I really saw a lot of things in this speech of the finance minister where I think can go into solution. Everyone, please pay attention to that. I've just brought it for you. By the time India will be at 50, not 50, sorry, 100, nearly half of our population is likely to live in urban areas. Get it? So our finance minister is concerned and she says orderly urban development has to be there. This will help realize country's economic potential. Remember, GDP is coming. There are livelihood opportunities as well as demographic dividend. Make sense, everyone? The need is to nurture mega cities. So हमारी सरकार mega cities को nurture करने वाली है and their hinterland to become current centers of economic growth. So the focus will be on mega cities or big cities and their hinterland. On the other hand, we need to focus tier 2 and tier 3 cities to be the mantle in future. This will require us to reimagine our cities into centers of sustainable living. I told you phrases where there is opportunity for all, including women and young. So government क्या करने वाली है? What has the government proposed? क्या करेगी government इसके लिए? So everyone, do we get that? Some solutions? That these are the things which are needed. Government ने क्या propose किया? Government ने एक amazing thing propose किया. High level committee बनाई जाएगी. एक committee बन रही है और जैसे कुछ पता चलेगा आपको बता देंगे. इसमें कौन होंगे? Urban planners होंगे, urban economists होंगे, institutions will be there, urban sector policies, capacity building, they will be doing that. But I think the remedies lie in modernization of building bylaws, town planning schemes, transit-oriented development need to be implemented, and central government's financial support for mass transit project. What is a mass transit project? Metro trains. And Amrut scheme will be leveraged for the formulation of action plan and implementing the facilities of town transit-oriented development and DPS by the state. So everyone, town planning is the solution. Transit-oriented development. What is transit-oriented development, everyone? Remember metro trains and all those things. So if we have transport arteries, they will be the source of development. And building bylaws. Everyone, did you hear of the demolition of that building in Noida? So many bylaws, many laws are outdated. Many permissions need to be accommodated to make our cities sustainable. So I thought the speech was a good start to look at. So we want to nurture our mega cities and their hinterland, but at the same time, we want to focus on tier 2 and tier 3 also for centers of sustainable living with opportunities for all. We need to revise our building bylaws. We need to work on our town planning scheme, and that amazing idea of transit-oriented development should be the focus. And the government should look at the financing of these mass transit projects and the Amrut scheme. Okay, that? But smart city पे कोई चर्चा नहीं. So all the people who are waiting for smart city to come, smart city पर अब बात होती नहीं. ठीक है? फिर भी मैं आपको बता दूं sustainable city क्या होती है, smart city क्या होती है. I thought of giving you this. So what is a sustainable city? It has compact residential development. Get it? तो यहाँ पर क्या होता है? This is what? Horizontal expanding city. What do we need now? Cities with vertical expansion. Do we agree or not? So residential development should be compact. Makes sense? But compact comes with its own challenges. Get it? So many people, this is a lot of density. They will produce a lot of waste. They will produce a lot of vehicles. They will have economy also. So उनके लिए क्या करेंगे? उनके लिए जॉब होना चाहिए. So एक नया idea है mixed land use. पहले क्या होता था? Segregation of land use. There are some places which are residential, some places which are commercial. Yes or no? Now what is happening? If you look at the malls and big buildings which are coming, which is the case of Burj Khalifa also. Some of the floors are for shopping and jobs, commercial floors. And ऊपर जाएंगे तो residential floors will also come. And will this reduce the transport also, everyone? Will this reduce the transport also or not? So you want to travel to a mall, but mall is in your building itself. You want to go to the office is in your building itself. Make sense? Here, the employment was based primarily on environment polluting, non-renewable resources based industries. But now employment is based on education and skills. ये sustainable city में होता है, but is India high on this? Can I say they're talking about service sector? सर्विस सेक्टर का हमें एक ही जॉब समझ में आ रहा है, टिकटॉक वाला, वो तो बैन हो गया, सब अपना अपना वीडियो बनाएंगे, ये देखेगा कौन? ट्रू और नॉट? Movement on foot and bicycle, that's sustainable cities. And right now there is heavy dependence on private cars. Do we get that? This is the problem of our cities. In fact, if you are a person who is into walking on the road, jogging on the road with a bicycle and all those things, and if you are in cities like Delhi, beware, truck उड़ा के चला जा. Yes or no? We don't have separate lanes for bicycle, we don't have separate lanes for walkers. Yes or no? Delhi government created a bicycle lane. Delhi government created a bicycle lane. Get it? In that bicycle, the motorcycle walas घुस गए. True or not? And the car wala is wondering, how can I get into the bicycle lane? That is our mindset. Bicycle lanes, lanes for walking are exclusive in good cities. Sustainable cities will create that. Yes, sir. Cities should be run by wind and solar energy. Right now, Indian cities are run by thermal and nuclear energy. Can I say that? Everyone, can I show you the problem and solution in this slide itself? Tertiary treatment of sewage, use of natural means of sewage treatment. अभी क्या है? Discharge of sewage. जहाँ पर भी है, water bodies everywhere, untreated. Hard surfaces prevent infiltration. Remember, channeling natural water courses. So what we are creating is concretized land. So water is not able to. Protection, use natural hydrological systems. Let the water go down. Destruction of natural landscape. Manicured parks. Parks are manicured. Fake park हम बनाते हैं. Exotic species. Heavy use of chemical fertilizer, herbicide, and this thing. So have you seen gardens with, like only grass? They will first lay down plastic on that, some soil and grass. They have natural open space. Let the wetlands be there, woodlands be there, stream and valley. Everything should be there. Integrated pest management. What are we creating? Landfills and infiltration. Here, reduce the waste. No, recover it, reuse it, recycle it. Why not? There's a lot of grey waste coming from the toilet water. Yes or no? Can that toilet water be used for irrigation or for irrigation of the gardens and all those things? Recycling of waste material. Okay. I want a Coca-Cola bottle right now. I want a Coca-Cola bottle right now. Blinkit करूंगा तो कितनी देर में आएगा? 10 minutes में आ जाएगा. लड़का blink करता हो. How much is Coca-Cola bottle? 1 liter. 60 rupees. कितना है? 1 liter. Rupees 50, rupees 60. Will he come to deliver 50 rupees का product? आएगा ना? I don't understand Blinkit. For a 50 rupees cola bottle, someone will take a motorcycle and come and deliver to me. Yes or no? I can go down to a kirana shop next to my house, but मैं Blinkit से बोलूँगा मेरे room में देकर जाएगा. True or not? After some times I realize, okay, Coca-Cola was good. I need to have a burger also. Then I call someone from Swiggy. He will come. He will also use petroleum fuel and everything and come. Whereas I could have actually gone, walked. I should have walked and have my Coca-Cola and burger if I wanted to have. True or not? Unsustainable, or is Blinkit sustainable? So it is creating employment. Oh yes, it is. Is it development with regeneration, degeneration? The packing material and everything that comes, that's a very big challenge there. I just ordered something in the morning and then the thought came to me, this small item, and one person will come and deliver. Zepto, Dunzo are to, even with free delivery, how they are managing? Well, they're just capturing the market right now. Free delivery to hatai, no? You want coconut water, you know? Go be deliver karna big basket. Deliver me 1 coconut. So I'm okay with that. That's facility, that's service. But is that sustainable? Think about it. Is that sustainable? I'm saying compact form of residential development and mixed land use. Problem is that our cities already have segregated land use. No, the commercial spaces are far away. Commercial spaces are far away. I have to go over there. True or not? And that's happening. So everyone think about it. This is one very big idea about sustainable and non-sustainable. Think about it. इसमें इतने points हैं. You can write any answer that you need. Components of making city: citizen participation and population size control. Very, very important. Everyone is plastic, single-use plastic banned or not? Is it available everywhere? Are the plastic bags available or not? How will ban? Who will ban? Who will ban it? And once bans are not respected, it will become like child labor. True or not? Child labor is banned in India. Universal primary education is a fundamental right or not? 2 things we gave. We said बच्चे से काम मत करवाइए, school free कर दिया. True? कुछ भी नहीं. Do you think the government can do that? First point. Is it the government that can do that or you and I? When you're not carrying a jhola with you or a container with you, he's going to give you plastic. Yes or no? I don't understand. Like, what is this ban on single-use plastic? It is everywhere. Yes, we can have some technological solution there. The government can come into it. Smart cities, green building codes are being created or not? So green building, they should be heat reflecting and all those things. Urban morphology, which I'll be talking of tomorrow. So efficient, clustered, conservation, restoration of ecosystem. That's urban morphology. If you don't know urban morphology, this is the point. Nature of open spaces, everything should be there in the urban areas. Demand and energy management. Demand and energy management. Hybrid fuel later up. We're talking of hybrid fuels. We're talking of ethanol blending. Yes or no? We're talking of electric vehicles. We're talking of mass rapid transport systems. As I said, the government has been talking about funding on this. Yes. Our finance minister is also talking about MRTS, transport based development. Yes or no? Housing and habitat management, governance and civic amenities management. Now, all this is going to be the solution. ये सारा solution to the problems of urbanization in India. That is what we are talking about. Government initiative. Government ने क्या किया है? Sustainable urbanization. Not only in India, as the world continues to urbanize, sustainable development depends on successful management of urban growth. If that is not there, it's a very big challenge, and especially in the low and middle income countries like India. Integrated policies have to be there for urban and rural people, and there should be linkages between them, and then we need to work. ठीक है? Smart city mission. बता दूं आप लोगों को what is smart city mission? So it is लिखा है. It was aimed at developing 100 smart cities across the country by promoting smart solutions for efficient use of available assets, resources, infrastructure, enhancing the quality of urban life, and providing a clean and sustainable environment. सुनने में अच्छा लगा कि नहीं? ये मैंने वहीं से उठाया, मुझे बहुत मजा आया. Focus will be on core infrastructure like adequate clean water supply. कहाँ से आ रहा है? Sanitation, solid waste management, efficient urban mobility, public transportation, affordable housing, power supply, robust IT connectivity, governance. ये सारी चीजें smart city के लिए. What was the approach? Area-based approach consists of retrofitting, redevelopment, pan-city initiative. Under retrofitting, what is retrofitting? Deficiencies are identified in your city, yes, and they will be addressed through necessary intervention. ये कहाँ पर हुआ? अहमदाबाद में. So I have given you case study also, everyone. Case study लेकर आया हूँ. कहाँ भागोगे? अहमदाबाद में retrofitting हुआ. Redevelopment, enable reconstruction of already built up area. मुंबई में भेंडी बाजार, and people who live in Delhi, आपने देखा होगा एम्स के सामने किदवाई नगर, वेस्ट किदवाई नगर was redeveloped. Retrofit is if there is some deficiency identified, correct it. Otherwise redevelop it. Pan city initiative is like intelligent transport solution. पूरे city में आपने metro लगाया, which benefits the this thing. So किस सिटी में metro आया जल्दी से बताओ. Recently किसी city में आया? दिल्ली, मुंबई, कोलकाता तो है. दिल्ली, मुंबई, कोलकाता, चेन्नई, और क्या हमारे पास? बैंगलोर, कोचीन, इंदौर, जयपुर, नागपुर. दो लिखना लिखते. Make sense everyone? Taken. Smart city mission. I told you smart city means something very different, but for India this is smart city. Is everyone clear? Everyone clear? Smart city means efficient urban mobility. Metro is coming, and I already told you that the government and the finance minister in the speech is very clear that we are looking at transit-oriented development. Transit-oriented development will require these mass transit projects will be required, so the government is willing to invest in that. Capital भी डालेगी, and बाहर से भी will allow investment to come. Get that? So that's what we're talking about. Wherever we can do retrofitting, we will do retrofitting. पुराना शहर है, old cities, you will do retrofitting. Redevelop. What if there is something that can be redeveloped? So Bhindi Bazar and West Kidwai Nagar have been redeveloped. I haven't been to Bhindi Bazar for a long time. Anyone from Mumbai, has it changed a lot? Kidwai Nagar has changed a lot. I can see that. Bhindi Bazar is something which I saw, I think at least 2 decades, or if not 2 decades, 10 साल पहले. I haven't been there again. So many people who don't know Bhindi Bazar, no problem. Enjoy. That is a case study. Selection criteria. कैसे आपको smart बनाया जाएगा? Smart city aspirants, like UPSC aspirants, no, will be selected by city challenge competition. सरकार ने competition कराएंगे, और अगर आप competition जीत गए, you will get 100 crore rupees per year for 5 years. Hear that? So smart city mission, what was it? That cities were asked, state government were asked, tell us which city do you think can become smart city. सबने अपना नाम दिया. फिर उसके बाद उनको क्या बोला? ठीक है, अब विनर हो गए, so what will you get? 100 crore रुपया मिलेगा. 100 crore में सिटी थोड़ी बदलती है. जैसे तो इनिशियल है ना, you have been identified, चलो आगे बढ़ो. Smart city action plan will be implemented by special purpose vehicle. ये क्या होता है मुझे पता नहीं. सर ऐसा तो कुछ भी नहीं सिलेक्ट हुए थे, लिस्ट भी निकली थी, लकी ड्रॉ तो हुआ था. लिस्ट तो अभी उनकी भी निकली थी जिन्होंने झंडे के साथ सेल्फी ली थी. फ्लैग वाला सेल्फी भी तो लिस्ट था ना. You had to put that on the number. Smart cities तो सिलेक्ट भी हुई थी, आपकी भी सिलेक्ट हुई होगी, मैंने लिस्ट डाली नहीं. So everyone, do you understand smart city mission? What was it? So first 5 years the government was talking about it. They said हर साल हम 100 crore देंगे. Rest the city will generate. I don't know where they are. Get that? And I told you the parameters was one lane is Wi-Fi. You paint your city, this thing and all those things. So ये चलता रहेगा. और साथ में हृदय मिशन में तो देखो कितना सुंदर नाम है. Heritage City Development and Augmentation Yojana. So heritage cities will be developed. I don't know, मतलब जो भी हमने बात की उसका इससे कुछ लेना देना. Smart city. Did it talk like this anywhere? It just said we will give you 100 crore rupees. Rest आप लोग लगाओ और जो है लकी ड्रॉ में पार्ट लो. They participated. Bureau participated. Dancer हमारी smart city. One of my students, she's an IS officer in Karnataka, so she was posted in Delhi during that time, and she said, "Sir, I'm working on this smart city project." तो हमें report बना के देनी. But on papers it was reported. One of my students right now is working with this higher education system. So new education policy पर report बना के देगा, PowerPoint presentation. He'll enjoy. Yes, sir. आप तक आएगी नहीं. Amrut. What is Amrut? Remember, a new city. What about the existing cities? It is aimed at developing infrastructure of 500 cities and towns which have a population of 1 lakh and above. So can I say 500 class 1 cities? Yes. उसके लिए सरकार ने बजट दे दिया था 50,000 crore rupees और स्मार्ट सिटी के लिए कितना दिया 48,000 crore rupees. दोनों एक साथ आ गए. किसको 48,000 crore rupees दिया, that we will give you 100 crore each, बाकी तुम लोग अपना करो. And इधर क्या था 50,000 crore rupees was allocated for 500 cities. Is everyone okay? So can I say if I remove 2 zeros, so does it again come to 100 crore? सब cities को क्या मिलेगा 100 crore मिल जाए. स्मार्ट सिटी के लकी ड्रॉ में आए तो 100 crore. अदरवाइज अमृत में भी 100 crore है. The mission also includes some cities situated in the stem of main river, a few capital cities, few in the hilly areas. What do you have to do? Implementation is linked to promotion of urban reforms. What will you do in this? You will go for medical cadre, professional medical cadre, credit rating of the urban local body, energy and water audit, citizen-centric urban planning will be there. The mission adopts a project-based approach to ensure basic infrastructure, so water supply, sewerage, transport, development of green space. This looks like sustainable. Yes or no? Central assistance will be extended under Amrut to the projects. So remember, JNURM was the old one. So if you were given funds under JNURM and you've not completed it, don't worry. Amrut is an extension of that. Is everyone okay with Amrut and Smart City? Government came कुछ 50,000 करोड़ इन्हें भी दिया, उन्हें भी दिया. उनको क्या बताया? Smart City को तुम लोगों को क्या करना है? लकी ड्रॉ के बाद तुम लोगों को जाना है अर्बन एफिशिएंट मोबिलिटी, पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट, अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग, पावर सप्लाई, सब कुछ. इसके लिए कितना मिलेगा 100 करोड़. बाकी तुम देख लेना. How Amrut is different from smart cities? These two missions are interrelated, but Amrut seeks to lay a foundation or enable smaller cities to grow into smart cities. Is everyone okay? So Amrut will give that foundation for that, and then you can turn into that. While smart cities mission focus on the larger urban area, Amrut is for smaller areas. While smart city adopts area-based approach, focusing on improving amenities of the whole area of the city, Amrut adopts a functional-based approach. Is everyone okay? What function? आप एक काम करिए, म्यूनिसिपल कार्डर बनाइए, क्रेडिट रेटिंग करवाइए. दिस फंक्शन. You must have an audit. You must have a citizen-centric urban planning. Something of that sort. They were task-centric and that was area-centric. Is everyone okay? Both of them came together with this government. Amrut was an extension of JNURM and Smart City Mission, as it is you've seen. That is. Apart from that, there is this scheme also running, Housing for All. So in this slum rehabilitation, credit-linked subsidy, affordable housing, beneficiary-led individual development. So this is given as a centrally sponsored scheme. In order to avoid duplicity, they cancelled Rajiv Awas Yojana. जहां जहां राजीव होगा वो हटेगा. राजीव ऋण योजना, अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग योजना, ये सब हटाकर क्या हो गया हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल अर्बन. Everyone okay? So three things: smart city mission, housing for all, smart city mission, housing for all, and third one is what? Amrut. ये लिख देना. Everyone okay? इनकी डिटेल्स यहाँ पर है. कितने लाख मिलेगा, कितने लाख नहीं मिलेगा. 3 phases are there. Phase 1 में 100 cities will be selected as per their willingness, जो मान जाते हैं. Phase 2 फिर से 200 and Phase 3 remaining cities. तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया कहाँ रह गए. आपकी सिटी आई क्या इसमें? चल रहा, it is on papers, it is working. So everyone, where have we reached? Urban developments, spatio temporal, all done. Everyone clear with this? Conurbation metropolitan regions clear to all. Functional classification today clear finally. Mitra and Jain. Town planning through 5-year plans clear. I will be talking about that tomorrow again. Tomorrow again we'll talk about something about town planning. Problems of urbanization and remedies up to the current government. क्या कर रहे हैं समझ में आ गया? Do we have the latest with us? What I plan to do now is slums. My plan is to do slums now. So what are slums? Quickly. What are slums? And how do we keep track of slums in India? What are slums? How do we keep track of slum population in India? स्लम कितने हैं, कहाँ हैं, कौन इसका ध्यान रख सकता है? और are we keeping or are they just coming up and we are not bothered? What are slums? Because it is syllabus, slums and associated problem syllabus entry, so we need to show some respect to that also. So what are slums? Unorganized, unplanned, illegal settlements. Okay, perfect. Filthy livelihood, unplanned, residential area of poor in urban. Not necessarily poor. So we have LIG, lower income group also now. That won't be there. So overcrowded, Deepak, is a problem there. Tell me, what are slums? So everyone, what is slum? Let me take you from paper 1. I think people who have done paper 1 with me, there I told you that slum will be done with paper 2. Remember, मैं कुछ ऐसे वादे करता हूँ कभी-कभी और फिर पूरा भी करता हूँ. So this handout will be given to you. Increasing urbanization is emerging as more pervasive. Urban population in India has grown to 377 million, and so has this thing. Slum, Irish word slum. It comes from the Irish word slum. So paper 1 का लेकर आ रहा हूँ, everyone. Meaning a bleak or a destitute place. Another famous names are shanty town. ब्राजील में इसको बोलते हैं फवेला, बारियो एंड गेटो. सम नेम्स हैं इनके. क्या नेम्स हैं? शैंटी टाउन, फवेला, बारियो. हैव यू हर्ड गेटो फॉर्मेशन? Ghetto is another name for slum only. Yes, these dwellings are, there are dwellings, these are improvised shack. छप्पर से बनते हैं, made up of scrap material, usually without proper sanitation, without any sanitation, electricity, telephone service, nothing is there. Get that? We also call them skid row. Skid row refers to urban area with a high homelessness population in terms of most commonly used in US. Barrio is for Spanish people. Spanish people call it barrio. Yes. Ghettos refer to people based on shared ethnicity. So one ethnic group staying together, that is ghetto formation. Is everyone okay? First of all, I wanted to give you some words. So in paper 1, I told my students that slums will be done in paper 2. So I'm completing that promise. So shanty towns, favelas, barrios, and ghettos. These are some of the names. If we are looking for a definition, so a UN expert group has created an operational definition of a slum as an area that combines various extent of inadequate safe water supply, inadequate sanitation and other infrastructure, poor structural housing, overcrowding, unsecure residential status. So that's the definition of a slum as per UN expert group. So there is all inadequate basic supplies, poor structure and overcrowding. If you want, you can memorize from here. It has certain physical characteristics. It has some social characteristics and economic characteristics. So if somebody asks you what are slums, you should be able to look at physical, social and economic characteristics. In physical, can I say they are mostly temporary buildings? Yes. So there are all common things, common latrines, common water supply, common drain, disposal of solid waste and garbage within the slum boundary. Everything is common. There is no individual thing. Yes or no? Apart from the degrading in some conditions, slums in India are also. In India में कुछ खास है. Temporary भी है, common भी है. Total absence of community and recreation facility. There is no recreation in that. बस सिर्फ छुपाने के लिए. ठीक है? Is everyone okay? Physical characteristics, everything is temporary, everything is common. UN habitat, another definition which I have is, a slum is a contiguous settlement. Contiguous means touching something, adjacent settlement, where the inhabitants are characterized as having inadequate housing. Everything is inadequate, everything is temporary, everything is common. A slum is often not recognized and addressed by the public authorities as an integral or equal part of city. In fact, slums are considered separate. So insecure residential area, if you have your kholi or jhopdi in the slums, can the municipality come and break it? Yes or no? Insecure. Inadequate access to safe water, inadequate access to sanitation. So drinking and this thing is not there. Poor structural quality of housing and lot of overcrowding. Is everyone okay? So this is their physical status. Many slum dwellers employ themselves in the informal sector. If you are talking of their economy, mostly informal economy. Do we get that? And many a times they are prone to many man-made disasters. Man-made disasters, many things. Say for example, it might catch fire. Explosion happens. Gas का cylinder फट गया, पूरा slum हो गया. Yes or no? Some chemical leak can happen. Possible. Some medical emergency, but even the ambulance cannot reach over there. Crime, drug trafficking, many things can be there. You can see street vending, drug dealing, domestic work, prostitution. In some slums, people even recycle trash. So certain things which are not allowed in the city. city activities which are not allowed, say for example recycling of trash or plastic manufacture, udhar ho jayega. Illegal things are also happening. So that is what slums are. True. It is a big challenge to the administration also, and administration gets money also through corrupt practices. So they are doing so many of art and craft work also leather work majorly in Dharavi. So Sneha, I'm talking about when you talk of leather work and art and craft work, there are a lot of works which are not allowed in the city. Say for example the water that is needed, the quality control that is needed, the air that would be needed for leather works. Yes or no? So काम तो कराएंगे, क्यों कर रहे हैं वहां पर? Sneha, why are they working over there? Cheap labor, no compliance with laws. So मुझे तो लेबर चाहिए ना. बॉम्बे में आई नीड लेबर, लेबर इज कॉस्टली. वो बोलता है कि मैं अपना धारावी में जाकर करूंगा, तो क्यों नहीं करूं? मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं. आई एम ओके विद दैट. Yeah, that leather washing, leather tanneries and all those things, सब उधर करो, कोई टेंशन. That is what is our urbanization all about. Slums are, if I'm talking about socially, they are characterized by urban decay, high rates of poverty, illiteracy and unemployment. They are breeding grounds of social problems like crime, drug addiction, alcoholism, high rates of mental illness and suicide. However, some like Dharavi are a hive of business activity also, such as leather works and cottage industry. ठीक है स्नेहा, मैंने कर दिया ये, but then the fact is, as I said, that becomes cheaper for them. That becomes cheaper and economic for them. So I do accept that, but in general, the issue is more of problems. ठीक है, सबको समझ में आ गया पेपर 1 के लिए everyone? Did we understand about paper 1? What are slums? What are its characteristics? We get a lot of questions like this in paper 1. So I've kept it general also. I brought Indian examples also. My intention was so that I can serve both paper 1 and paper 2. And this all will be done in 2 sheets. मैं ज़्यादा sheet रखता नहीं हूँ. So this is the second one. Extent of slums in India. Get that? Now everyone, this is also there. Extent of slum. India is on the path of development. Slum population has been increasing. Slum dwelling in India has risen for 61 in 1991 to 75 million in 2001. Slum population in Bombay, Delhi. Now this sheet has data from 2001 census. Can I say this is old data? वैसे तो 2022 में 1 तो क्या 11 भी है, but at least the latest what do we have? 2011 census. So I wanted to tell you that census data, census keeps track of this also. Everyone okay? Census keeps track of this also. So I know that this sheet does not have it. I would want you to find for yourself also. That does not mean I will not teach. I also have something for you. So मैं पूरा data लेकर आया हूँ. Get that? But my sheet has, that sheet has 2001. My slides has 2011 also. All the things are there for you. So as per census of India, what is the definition? The purpose of census has been defined as, the slum has been defined as residential areas where dwellings are unfit for human habitation by reason of dilapidation, overcrowding, faulty arrangement and design of buildings, narrowness, faulty arrangement of street, lack of ventilation, light sanitation facility or any combination of these factors detrimental to safety and health. Can I say these are the problems of slums also? So this definition has come from the census 2011. Now everyone, please understand there are 3 types of slums. Slums भी 3 तरह के. As per census, there are 3 types. Notified slums. These are towns and cities which are notified by slums as state, UT administration, under the Slum Act. Notified का मतलब ये slum है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. अभी regularize हो चुके हैं. They have been regularized. Have you heard of something called as JJ colony? In Delhi, we have something called as JJ colony. Many JJ colonies are there. What is JJ colony? In Hindi, slums are called jhuggies and jhoppadis. So this is called JJ colony, jhuggi jhopdi colony. Do we get that? Notified. So this all notified areas in a town or city. So areas have been notified as slums. ये regularized slum है. ठीक है? Recognized slums. All areas which are recognized slums as this thing, which may not be formally notified. They have not been formally notified, but they have been recognized. तो formally notify कब होगा? ये होगा election में. Yes or no? Electoral promise. Do you get that? चिंता मत करो, आपके स्लम का मैं उद्धार करूंगा. गरीब लोगों, मेरे ही भाई हो. एक बार मुझे चीफ मिनिस्टर बनाओ, and I will make your slum regular. Then authority cannot come and dismantle your house. Do you understand that? So that is there. Sir, after watching Bhutnath, now we understand. So there are many who would not have watched Bhutnath, but then the fact is, do we understand? We are talking about India because this is paper 2, so I have to educate you on that also. Identified slums are compact area. At least 300 people are living over there. 60 to 70% of households are poorly built and congested, and they don't have this. So identified की तो कोई कुछ है ही नहीं. इसको तो कभी भी उखाड़ सकते हैं. तो 3 तरह के slums हो गए. Everyone notified, recognized but not notified. Identified, I can see slum formation is there. I can raise it anytime. The authority should control it. Is everyone okay? As per data, 2011 census. So that sheet is 2001. Of the 4,000 statutory towns, remember statutory towns, we have legal towns in census. Around 63% towns have slums. Correct? Largest number of slums are where? Maharashtra. So can I say 2/3 of our towns have slums? 2/3 of our towns have slums. Some of you must be wondering, sir, I thought 100% would be there. Yes or no? To us, slums is so normal. Town है तो slum होगा ही. But I want to tell you, छोटा town, उसमें slum अभी कोई जाने नहीं. Number of slum blocks and types of slums. So notified slums are 37,000. Excuse me. Recognize that this. Can I say no need to remember? But as I told you, my job to collect data for you. Household by type. Notified households, 49 lakh household are in slum, 37 household in lakh. These are this many household. Imagine 137 lakh households in India. Yes or no? Can I say 10 lakh is 1 million? No. So 13 million. 13 million households are slum. That's huge. Number of slum household in million. So I said 13.137. And where are they living? Million plus city में 52 million and slums in other cities. Other cities में mostly class 1 cities. I hope you can understand. Number of slum household, that is what we are looking at. 38% of slum household live in 46 million plus cities. So data worth using. Top and bottom. So which are the top 5 states in terms of slum households? Okay, that Andhra, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal have these slum households. Bottom 5, these are top: Chandigarh, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Assam, in terms of household. Per proportion of slum household to urban household. I hope you can see this. This is proportion, not absolute number. Percentage of slum household to urban household means how much slum is there. So we are looking at this. They have more slums. Please remember, this is not absolute number. This is percentage of slums with respect to total urban. So this is percentage or relative data. Everyone okay with this? Proportion of slum houses in metros, if I'm looking at state name metro mein dekh raha hu. Slum houses to total urban houses. So in Greater Mumbai, 41% houses are slum as a percentage of total. So 59% or 58% are non-slum and 41 are there. Kolkata, and I'm very sure in this there is a big contribution of Dharavi. Yes, sir. Chennai, 28% houses are slums. Delhi, yes, sir. That's what we are talking about. Top 4 में अगर हम रखते हैं तो Mumbai, Kolkata, that's all we are looking at. Is everyone okay with this? So Mumbai remains a flashpoint. If we leave those, after that, where are those? So Visakhapatnam has huge slum population. So above 40 is in Meerut, Vijayawada, Greater Mumbai, and Jabalpur. That's what we are talking about. Is everyone okay? Notified households, 49 lakh household are in slum, 37 household in lakh. These are this many household. Imagine 137 lakh households in India. Yes or no? Can I say 10 lakh is 1 million? No. So 13 million. 13 million households are slum. That's huge. Number of slum household in million. So I said 13.137. And where are they living? Million plus city में 52 million and slums in other cities. Other cities में mostly class 1 cities. I hope you can understand. Number of slum household, that is what we are looking at. 38% of slum household live in 46 million plus cities. So data worth using. Top and bottom. So which are the top 5 states in terms of slum households? Okay, that Andhra, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal have these slum households. Bottom 5, these are top: Chandigarh, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Assam, in terms of household. Per proportion of slum household to urban household. I hope you can see this. This is proportion, not absolute number. Percentage of slum household to urban household means how much slum is there. So we are looking at this. They have more slums. Please remember, this is not absolute number. This is percentage of slums with respect to total urban. So this is percentage or relative data. Everyone okay with this? Proportion of slum houses in metros, if I'm looking at state name metro mein dekh raha hu. Slum houses to total urban houses. So in Greater Mumbai, 41% houses are slum as a percentage of total. So 59% or 58% are non-slum and 41 are there. Kolkata, and I'm very sure in this there is a big contribution of Dharavi. Yes, sir. Chennai, 28% houses are slums. Delhi, yes, sir. That's what we are talking about. Top 4 में अगर हम रखते हैं तो Mumbai, Kolkata, that's all we are looking at. Is everyone okay with this? So Mumbai remains a flashpoint. If we leave those, after that, where are those? So Visakhapatnam has huge slum population. So above 40 is in Meerut, Vijayawada, Greater Mumbai, and Jabalpur. That's what we are talking about. Is everyone okay? So these were the slum populations, slum data up to 2011. What is slum? What are the issues? Everyone clear on that? What are the definitions? Type of slums in India? How does census see them? Now we are looking at, apart from various things, if you're looking for some problems, that can also be there. Problems and status of slums. Population growth in slum is very, very high. Yes. In fact, poor utilization of reproductive child health services, very low use of contraceptives is there. Literacy and age of marriage is not raised. Yes, sir? So that's a problem. Huge migration happens. Yes, sir? More developed area will require in-migration. So people can't afford that. The pace of urbanization in India is set to increase. And if it will increase, urban poverty is not a spillover of rural poverty. People think that people are poor in urban area because they left rural area because of that. No. They came, in fact, in rural areas, they were living better off. In rural areas, when they thought of migration, they were living better off. But when they came here, the cost of living is so much that those people have become very poor. Do we get that? Change within the city's economic structure, restructuring and dismantling of larger industries. At times, mills were closed down. Many people were jobless. Say COVID, another one. Many people were jobless. Informal sector after COVID, lot of it is lost. So many problems have been created because of that. Is everyone with me on that? Health, hygiene, sanitation, and pollution. In slums, major health concerns are there. Yes or no? Single one-room structure में रहते लोग. Dirty floors, poor ventilation. There is a rapid spread of respiratory and skin disease. If epidemic comes, imagine COVID may in slums. How do you protect the spread of COVID in slums? Think about it. Access to drinking water is a very big challenge. Yes, lack of safe drinking water, and then mosquitoes, vector-borne diseases. That's also going to be a big problem. Yes, they don't have bathroom facilities. Promoting open defecation. Though we are saying we are ODF country, but is that a reality or not? क्या solution लगता है? Everyone, homework for you. What do you think is the solution for slums? सोच कर आएंगे? So one is this solution for some slum problem in India. Data I've already given you. I got the latest data also, everything for you. Map is also there, but remember this is percentage of the slum household, not the absolute data. Everyone with me on this? Spatiotemporal part, we are done with the functional classification today. Then we started with the problems of urbanization. I'm done with that also. The nature and characteristic of urbanization, I hope you have the words for that. Then as per 2011 census, what is the status? What is smart city also we talked about. I requested you for a homework on this. Can we, a reminder for this homework also, urban problems in data. Data on urban problems. Urban problems in general, you know. And I'm saying data. Get the data on that. That's your homework. You can submit directly to me. Then the 5-year plans we saw. After that, looking at those problems, we went for remedies. How can there be remedies? We saw what the government is looking at. What is a sustainable city? This whole thing is a remedy. Sustainable city is a remedy for urban problems. We saw what will be needed. We saw what are the government initiative in terms of smart city, Amrut mission, and housing for all. Then we took a topic on slums. I have explained you what are slums, census definitions also, types of slums also, extent of the problem also. Your job is to get me the solution of slum problem. Okay. Would like to end the class because we have another class on environmatics after 1 hour. So let's have a full break on that. So thank you. I hope you created value of this. I would be looking forward to your submissions on the data on slum, urban issues. And this is the solution for slums. What do you think can be a solution? Okay, 7 o'clock, I'll see you with environmatics. If you have concerns about the environment preparation, you can bring them there also. This is the start of 2.0 today. I'll take some current affairs topics also in that. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'll try and keep it for 1 hour.